Learn program that we will be offering on Sunday in this room from 1:30 to 3 that will focus on preventing death by suicide. Brett?
All right. I'm like a million feet tall, so I have to adjust this very carefully. Thank you so much for letting me be here. It was sort of an ordeal to get here. The University of Washington is wonderful for a number of reasons, but apparently travel booking is not one of them. So thank you so much for attending. I only have a handful of minutes, so I'm trying to be as brief as I can, which is hard because I'm normally very long-winded. So tomorrow we're going to be doing what's called a LEARN training. LEARN is the suicide prevention acronym that we have, so we can train you to look for warning signs, empathize and listen to people, ask directly about suicide, reduce access to lethal means, and then move to next steps of care. I'm also program coordinator for Forefront Suicide Prevention, in charge of a program called Safer Homes, Suicide Aware, and I will have an example of that program in which we distribute free gun safes and do some basic layperson education about suicide prevention. I'm passionate about the topic for a few reasons, and one of them is that in a very real sense, it was a challenge for me to be here, and I almost didn't make it, literally because of the flight situation, but in 2008 I personally hit rock bottom. My Marine Corps career was taking out, I was unemployed, I was living with my parents, and if it hadn't been for the love and support of everybody else, I would not be here today. On 3 instances within the last 5 years, I have been in a position to hold on to other people's firearms while they were in crisis, and they're all alive today. Suicidal crisis is fleeting. It's not a permanent condition for the overwhelming majority of people. And we have to look at the fact that suicide prevention has to be a gun rights issue. It has to be. Because every time a person dies and a firearm is involved, that is ammunition used against us. We know that the data is absolutely clear. The giant majority of firearm-involved fatalities are not mass shootings. They're not even gang violence. It is overwhelmingly suicide. And there is something that we can do about it, and we have to. If you look at accidents with guns, mishaps, negligence, things of that nature, we have completely changed the culture. We've radically turned things around. 1967, Colonel Jeff Cooper came around. American Pistol Institute was founded in the 1970s. The high water mark for fire-related accidents was the decade of the 1970s. Washington State, where I live, has kept statistics on these things since the 1950s. High water mark in the 70s, there were almost 500 mishaps with firearms on an annual basis. Today, there are less than 50. The state's Department of Fish and Wildlife adopted a very simple mantra, and that is every mishap is preventable. We can do this as a community if we take it seriously, and we have to. Just like Colonel Cooper's training and the institution of the 4 universal rules of safe firearms handling has changed things when it comes to mishaps, we can do something when it comes to suicide losses as well. So please join me tomorrow. The LEARN training itself is about 90 minutes long. I know it's toward the end of the event, but if you play your cards right, I'll tell a couple of bad jokes. Funny from time to time. And we'll have the example of the Safer Homes program as well. So thank you so much. I hope to see as many of you as possible.
I'd like to tell you that the Second Amendment Foundation and Alan Gottlieb have been intimately involved from the inception of this. We recognize that death by suicide is something that we all try to prevent. This is not just about firearms, it also is about pharmaceuticals, pills and stuff that are available. So they will be covering gamut. Again, we hope to make, just like the accidents are all preventable, we'd like to make the deaths by suicide preventable as well. I have housekeeping. We're going to go out into a break. Resolutions are due by 4 o'clock. Jenny Jennings is here, Don Moran is somewhere as well, but they need to be turned in at our registration table. We now have a break, and I'm going to ask you to be back here promptly at 3:15. We have 7 lawyers, and we have a 70-minute panel. They're all going to pretend they're at the appellate court, so they're going to do a good countdown, but you do not want to miss this. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back in 10 minutes.
Oh, no, I know. I'm going to be bored. I'm about to strain myself, so I walk along.